People in Grand County still living in RVs 3 years after the East Troublesome Fire destroyed their homes. They got the insurance money to rebuild, but they can't find the contractors to help. A lot of those contractors are rebuilding Boulder County after the Marshall Fire. Here's Mark Salinger.
Right here was where our deck was. So you'd pull up and this was the concrete pad for our garage.
It still doesn't feel like 3 years since the house burned down.
This was my home. This was our home. 3
years since Julie Knopf closed her door for the final time as the East Troublesome Fire approached.
Never did we expect to still be in a camper.
If recovery is measured by how much is left to rebuild, there's still a long way to go.
This is now our humble abode. We've been living here since a year ago, June.
The insurance money to pay for a rental house ran out a long time ago. The RV next to the old foundation will do for now, as the struggle continues to rebuild outside.
But you make it work, you know? Home is where the heart is.
Of the more than 350 homes destroyed in the fire in 2020, only 40% in Grand County have been issued a permit to rebuild so far. Insurance money was tough to get. Contractors are in short supply. The winters make the building season short. And Julie knows the list of challenges goes on and on.
2 steps forward, 1 step back, you know, and you think that you're getting somewhere, and then you realize that you really have all these other things to do before you can even get to that.
Julie's focused on building a garage now to live in, which will be quicker than trying to finish a home.
So that's that baby step that you're just so thankful for. You know, it's like, oh my God, we almost have a wall. You know?
Her husband is leading the project. Up here, a handful of construction companies are overwhelmed by the need. When the Marshall Fire destroyed more than 1,000 homes in Boulder County in 2021, most of the builders went down to the Front Range, left people like Julie waiting.
We're up here, after it happened, you know, it kind of just goes away.
But the impact hasn't gone away. 3 years after Julie lost her home, frustration mixes with a sense of determination.
Oh, you just had to let the anger go. You just have to realize this is just what it is, and when it's done, it's done, and we're gonna have a really big party when we get that house put up.
So remember that only 40% of people in Grand County have even been issued a permit to rebuild after the East Troublesome Fire. That's 3 years ago. So let's compare that to the Marshall Fire. In places like Superior, which lost nearly 400 homes in the Marshall Fire 2 years ago, nearly 70% have been issued a building permit already. With more resources down here on the Front Range, the rebuilding process is quicker, Kyle, than up there in rural Grand County.
You know, Mark, I think about all the Coloradans that we talk to after they experience some kind of tragedy. And you rarely hear people complain about the hardship, but they do always say that they don't want to feel forgotten.
Yeah, exactly. And Julie was talking about going to perhaps parties or house welcoming parties that new people up in Grand County are celebrating to build their new houses. And she says that she's grateful that they are at that step. And again, she can't wait until she can have people over to her new house one day soon.
Just be there too. Mark, thank you for your continued reporting on that.